On the Tuesday following the inauguration of Pope Leo XIV, a highly notable event took place at the White House. Luis Privos, brother of the newly elected pope, unexpectedly appeared alongside President Donald Trump and Vice President Jivan during a meeting widely seen as politically symbolic. The image of the three men standing together in the Oval Office quickly spread worldwide, drawing intense attention from the public and international media. Luis Privos, a Florida resident, is known for his sharp political views and has openly supported Trump's MAGA movement. His personal Facebook page was once filled with posts criticizing the Democratic Party and making controversial statements. However, since his younger brother Robert Privos became Pope Leo XIV, Luis seems to have adopted a more restrained and thoughtful tone in his public remarks. In a recent interview, he admitted that some things have come back to me, and that he now thinks twice before posting on social media. Despite this, the White House visit appeared to be more than a mere social call. Many observers questioned the special ties between the Privos family and American politics, as well as the potential influence this relationship could have on the global Catholic Church amid current political dynamics. Though he holds no official role in the Vatican, Luis seems to act as an unofficial extended arm of the Pope in the United States, especially since Leo XIV has spent much of his ministry in Peru, far from Western power centers. The meeting at the White House also revealed much about Pope Leo XIV's character and vision, a spiritual leader known for humility, closeness to the poor, and adherence to traditional teachings. The contrast between the politically outspoken older brother and the quietly devoted younger sibling creates a compelling and curious story. Certainly, the White House event is just the beginning of a new chapter full of surprises, where religion, politics, and media intersect, and the once overlooked brother of the Pope is becoming a figure of global attention. Luis Privos, Pope Leo XIV's brother, is a colorful figure in American political circles. Although not a professional politician, he has been a powerful voice in Florida's conservative community, especially within the MAGA movement. Coming from a working-class Croatian Catholic immigrant family, Luis grew up in a devout household, but chose a very different path from his brother. While Robert entered the priesthood and rose to become a cardinal and then pope, Luis built a career in business and grassroots politics in Florida. He once ran an industrial services company, but he became better known for public debates, community forums, and social media activism. His Facebook page attracted tens of thousands of followers with strong opinions on personal freedom, anti-globalization, and defending traditional American values. However, some of his statements were considered extreme and sparked controversy. Since Robert Privos became pope, Luis seems to be reshaping his public image. He has deleted many controversial posts, limited his social media presence, and recently appeared at diplomatic events, most notably the White House meeting. Although he insists he does not represent the Vatican, standing between the president and vice president sparked speculation. Is he playing an unofficial role in the Holy See's communication or diplomatic strategy in the U.S.? For now, Luis Privos remains an enigma. As the brother of one of the most extraordinary popes in modern history, he appears to be stepping out of his political shadow to enter a larger stage, where faith, power, and global strategy intertwine with subtlety. Behind the white robes and supreme leadership of the Catholic Church, Pope Leo XIV remains true to his identity, a shepherd among his flock, a priest with a heart full of compassion. At a time when the Church faces numerous challenges, from crises of faith in the West to social, environmental, and geopolitical issues, Leo XIV is not just a global leader, but a spiritual guide amid the storm. Before becoming pope, he was Cardinal Robert Privos, a priest of Croatian descent, born and raised in a working-class family in Florida. Unlike the typical image of a powerful churchman, Robert was known for visiting refugee camps, praying in prisons, and teaching in immigrant neighborhoods. His simple lifestyle, driving himself, cooking his own meals, and especially his ability to listen, made him a rare phenomenon among clergy. When he became Pope Leo XIV, many feared he would be absorbed by the Vatican's administrative machinery and power politics. But his pastoral heart remained unchanged. He continued to meet the poor every Saturday morning, write his own sermons, and hold small private prayer groups, rare practices for previous pontiffs. His first message to the world was not commanding, but inviting. Faith is not a wall that divides, but a bridge that connects souls longing for life. His humble tone touched the hearts of young people and those who had drifted away from the church. On social media, images of him smiling with children, hugging the homeless, or silently praying in an empty chapel spread widely. Not just a pope, Leo XIV is redefining the role of the 21st century pontiff. Not a ruler seated on a throne, but a shepherd walking among the people. Sometimes in sneakers, sometimes in tears, but always with an open heart. This is the pastoral soul of Leo XIV, a beacon of hope in turbulent times. From the moment he took the chair of St. Peter, Pope Leo XIV surprised the world not only with his humble origins, but with deep spirituality and courageous vision for the Church's role in the 21st century. He aims not only to reform Vatican administration, but to revive the spirit of the gospel, leading the Church beyond its walls to walk with humanity in all circumstances. His faith is not based on laws or rituals, but on lived experience. An American-Croatian priest living among immigrants, feeling the pain of the poor, serving quietly in refugee camps, hospitals, and prisons. For him, Christianity is not a power mechanism, but a journey of listening, accompanying, and serving. From this, he formed a vision to make the Church a mobile home, a community willing to leave comfort to reach the forgotten. He once said, "If the Church cannot leave itself to find the neglected, then it is no longer the Church of Christ." This vision is reflected in concrete actions, reforming Vatican budgets, prioritizing humanitarian projects, interfaith dialogue, and calling bishops to be closer to youth and the poor. A key highlight of his vision is emphasis on environment and social justice. He sees the ecological crisis not just as a scientific issue, but as a spiritual crisis, when humanity loses sacred connection with creation. In a powerful message, he wrote, "Care for the earth as your mother, because she is your mother." This phrase became a rallying cry for many Catholic youth movements worldwide. Leo XIV does not create anything entirely new, but revives the original spirit of Christianity in a relatable, sincere, and inspiring way. For him, the Church is no longer a closed fortress, but an open home, where everyone, regardless of belief, race, or status, is heard and loved. At his first appearance on the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, Pope Leo XIV chose a simple but profound message: victory through the cross. This seemingly modest phrase contains layers of theology, history, and humanity, and serves as the compass for his entire pontificate. For Leo XIV, the cross is not a symbol of defeat or suffering, but a sign of God's love triumphant. He repeatedly emphasizes, the cross is not Christ's failure, but the highest victory, victory through mercy, forgiveness, and faithfulness to the Father. This message centers Christ crucified as the spiritual heart, a hope for the suffering, despairing, and abandoned. But this is not just a moral message. It is a call for social action. Leo XIV criticizes political systems that degrade human dignity. In a world full of conflict, he asserts, true strength lies not in weapons or power, but in the capacity for unconditional love. The paradox of the cross is the reversal of worldly logic. A powerful gesture during his first Holy Week was placing a large cross made from the wreckage of a migrant ship on St. Peter's Square. A bold symbol, the cross belongs not only to the Church, but to the marginalized. For Leo XIV, the cross invites the Church to step down from thrones to wash humanity's feet. This message also guides internal reforms, from Vatican finances to ending lavish spending, redirecting resources to charity and ecology. When facing opposition from conservative forces, he does not retaliate, but prays quietly, patiently, and transparently, a battle in the spirit of the cross. Victory through the cross is not an empty slogan, but a way of life and a path. For Leo XIV, true victory is not the triumph of the strong, but total self-giving for others, as Christ himself did. Thank you for following. See you in the next episode about Pope Leo XIV.